Okay, so last time we received assignment number one, and I hope some of you have already been looking around for some company. And starting today, you could even, if you selected one already, you could talk to, you could send email to uh, one of the TAs, okay? It is starting at noon today. We were accepting email. And so does anybody have a company already? Oh, good. You have a company. So you are number one. You're Jed. Yeah. Jed Kayak. What are you majoring in, Jed? Oh, that's right. I remember. Rural. So what company do you have? Facebook. Oh, yeah, that's right. You talked to me about that. And the TA said that was okay. They did approve it. Yeah. Okay, well, that's great. Facebook. So, and so what exchange is that traded on? NASDAQ. What, New York? NASDAQ. Oh, it's sorry, NASDAQ. And what's the ticker? FP. In fact, I've been following it on my smartphone. I have that's one of the stocks I've been following. So Facebook, here's the dollar value of Facebook. Okay, one share of stock. And this is time here. Facebook went public when? It's summer, maybe June or something. It went public at what, $38 a share? And now it's what? 2071. So Facebook hadn't done well, right? I mean, so now you're betting, you're saying, okay, now the last 3 months, Facebook is gone. So you're thinking that for this 3 months, September, October, November, okay, you're betting against Mark. So you think so? You're going to bet. So on September 25th, remember this is what the assignment says, okay? The assignment says we're going to start the clock ticking on everybody on September 25th, okay? At high noon on September 25th, okay? I got to see what your stock is worth, okay? And between September 25th and December, so you're going to invest $100,000 in Facebook on September 25th, and then at noon on December the 4th, we're going to see how much it's worth, okay? And so that's about enough. So why do you think Facebook is going to take off? Mm-hmm. Well, actually, Mark Zuckerberg had a big conference, right, this last weekend? What happened in that conference? Yeah, so computers have, in my lifetime, have gone from great big expensive things to little bitty cheap things. Right? I mean, the computer business today isn't anything like what it was when I went into it. I mean, when I started in the computer business, computers were big, great big things. Only big companies could afford them, and they cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And a company like Exxon or Mobil or something, owned one computer for the whole company. That was it. And so then they went from that to departmental level computers, and from that to engineering workstations, into personal computers. And now they've come down to smartphones. Okay, a lot of people are getting rid of their computers because the normal person doesn't really need a computer. What they need is a smartphone, right? And because a smartphone has everything on it that the normal person needs, right? And so Facebook was really sort of set up to cater to personal computers. And so, how is Facebook going to manage and take advantage of this movement to smaller and smaller and to mobile? And that's what Mark Zuckerman was talking about in his conference, right? Well, anyway, that's that's a good choice. We'll have to see. Who else has a company already? Yeah. What? Have you already done it? Have you mailed in to the? We haven't heard back. Yeah. Well, whoever gets Apple will get them first. Will get Apple. Yeah. You already got Apple. Uh-oh. So you're Pascal. Okay, Pascal, what are you majoring in? Petroleum engineering. Whoa, you're a techie. You're gonna answer. Yeah. Usually we don't have too many petroleum engineers in this class. Uh, are you sure you want to take this class? I mean, this is usually for class for people who just trying to get a little more sophisticated in computers. Usually petroleum engineers already kind of sophisticated. You want an easy A, right? What? For your manner. Oh, I see. Your manner. Okay. Okay, and so you've already got Apple. Okay. Facebook. Okay, so Pascal, why did you want Apple? I mean, Apple's been going up, right? Has Apple actually been going up in the last 3 months? Hmm. They have been going up even in the last 3 months, right? How much has Apple gone up in the last 3 months? All right, better check. How do you check that, by the way? Okay, so you go to the internet and you just put in Apple stock prices. What? Go to Yahoo. Yeah, that's right. Yahoo has these. But here it is. Here. So here is the chart here, and so you can get a 1 day chart, a 5 day chart, a 10 day chart. Okay, click on the 3M. That'll be a 3 month chart. Okay. So here's a 3 month chart for Apple, and so it's 13 and 18. Okay, today. Uh, this is giving me This is actually giving me what is this over here? This is the sale. What is it? 682. Uh, summary quote. Here's historical prices here. I guess this is okay. Sorry, it was. Yeah, the price of Apple is $680. Okay, it's up 13.9%. Okay, the Apple's trading at 682. So 3 months ago, it was here. It was about 580. Okay, it's 680. So in 3 months, it's gone up about $100 a share. Okay, and so let's say from 6 to 7, that's 1/6. So that's about 16%. Okay, in the last 3 months, it's gone up 16%. So if it does the same in the next 3 months, it goes up 16. So on September the 25th, you're going to buy $100,000 worth of Apple, and then you're going to see what it's worth on December the 4th. If it goes up 16%, then you'll have $116,000. Okay, you made $16,000 in 3 months, but it might do better than 16%. Why? Yeah, they just announced, the smartphone 5. So I think a lot of your risk, okay, your strategy is you're betting on the smartphone 5, right? And so if the smartphone 5 does as well as the other smartphones have done, he may very well make more than 16% on his money. If you make 16% on your money in 3 months, that's figured as 64% on a yearly basis, right? That's really good, making 64%. You go out and buy a CD at the bank, you only get 1%. So you get 64%, that's a way good. Okay, anybody else has got a company already? Yes, ma'am. What do you got? You're Sally, right? Are y'all sisters or twins? Well, have y'all always gone together to all the schools and everything? Do you take all the classes together? Uh, what y'all majoring in? Both of you, right? I remember that. Well, you never have to worry about having somebody to go to lunch with, right? I mean, that's good. And so y'all have got you've got Microsoft, right? And Tracy, what do you got? Microsoft and Oracle. And y'all have already heard from the TAs. So okay, you're waiting for the TA. How fast have the TAs been getting around to these things? Not fast. No. Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to them. But okay, that's good. Anybody else? So look, yeah, you ever send that to the uh, you know, but Samsung, fine with me. But just make sure that nobody else has it. So you want to get your company set up because you got to have it by the 25th. If you don't have it by the 25th, we can't give you a starting deal. Okay. But also, the your paper is due on the 29th. Okay. And so you need to be doing some research. Okay. What kind of research do you need to do on this anyway? I would say you need to look at your stock prices over the last 3 months. And the reason I picked a 3 month window is because you're projecting 3 months. Right? You're going to buy on September 25th. You're going to sell on December the 4th. Okay? That's about 3 months, right? And so if the last 3 months, it's been going up, you kind of project that for the next 3 months, sort of the first approximation would be, well, I guess it's going to do about the same the next 3 months as it did in the last 3 months. But of course, that'll change with the changing situation. But that's one thing you want to look at. Another thing that you want to look at, and what financial people don't look at, is what's called the price to earnings ratio. And that is, you see how much the company earns, you divide that by the number of shares of stock. And so that would be your earnings per share. And then you look at what is the price per share. And people on the stock market look at the price to earnings ratio. You'll hear people say, oh, well, that's trading at 50 times earnings. Okay? That is, the price of your stock is 50 times what that stock is earning right now. That's a really high ratio. And that's considered, maybe it's overpriced a little bit on the stock. And they say, well, that's down to 20 times earnings. Well, I'm saying, well, that looks pretty good. So, you'll look at something like that. And I realize you're not I have a lot of experience in this, maybe, but you kind of learn a little bit there about doing this kind of stuff. Okay, are there any questions about assignment number 1? Okay, then let's continue our study of digital technology. I'm still on digital technology. Okay, this is PowerPoint slide CO1. It's the first chapter in the book, so I'm kind of dragging on this thing right here. Their agenda here. Well, we don't have our first quiz here until the week of 9/25. Okay, and since the quizzes are always on Thursdays, that would be 9/27. So today's the 13th. So it's still 2 more weeks before we have our first quiz. Okay. And actually, this assignment one, it says it's due on the Saturday after the 18th, but actually, if you look at the assignment, it's the 29th that it's due. So next week we really don't have anything due. I need to get out of digital technology. I need to be talking about hardware. I need to be talking about some of these other things. Yeah, I'm sorry. The quizzes are in class. I mean, the quizzes are about usually 30 to 45 minutes, and I used to do them usually at the end of the class. Yeah. What do you mean study guide? The textbook has quizzes in it, okay, self quizzes. Those are the best study guides. And so as you read a page in the textbook, it'll say self quiz, and you'll have a bunch of questions. There'll be multiple choice, true, false, and the actual quizzes are similar to that. Okay, well, let's see where I am then. Okay, so digital technology. So I've talked about digital literacy. I have not talked about computing platforms. Digital literacy, I've talked about bits and bytes. I've talked about ASCII. I've talked about the binary number system. I haven't talked about digitization so much, or digital convergence. Okay, but these things I've talked about, and so let's just quickly review. So on the data types, so I've talked a lot about data types and elementary data types. And there I've talked about integers, the integer data type, the character data type, pixel data type. Those are the main elementary data types I've talked about. So let's, can we recall what we know about these things? What do we know about the integer data type? About whole number here. When I say what you know about integer data types, speaking as a computer person, what I mean by that is what is the range of integers that are contained in this data type, and how much memory does this data type take? That's always the two questions about data types. How much memory does this data type take? What is the range of the data? Well, is it bits or bytes? 32 bytes? It's 32 bits, okay. So how much space does this take? It takes up 32 bits, or 4 bytes, yeah. And what's the range of the data? Integer data. Remember? Okay, Rosa Lee, how are you doing? What's the range of integer data on a computer? I made it all plus or minus a million, plus or minus a billion, plus or minus a trillion, plus or minus 5. Don't know. Okay, let's see. Brian Wynn, not here. So feed Wynn, don't know. What? Unlimited. Well, you can certainly deal with integers of any size on a computer, but you can't deal with integers of any size with the integer data type. Okay? Integer data type it's not unlimited. Let's see. Katie is not here. Katie? Or Sheree? Cheyenne, right? Wow, I'm impressed. Why do they call you Cheyenne? I mean, wait a minute. CTT. You know the range of integers? Good. Good. So the integer data type, it goes from plus or minus 2 billion. I actually figured all that out, the other day. So if you do have integers bigger than 2 billion, and you certainly are, you can certainly have, I mean, any bank or anything that would have to deal with more than that. Okay? But you can't just deal with a simple integer data type. You have to be more creative. Okay, well, that was really good there, Stephen. Okay, Christopher, tell me about what you know about a character data type. Well, I want to know two things. One, how much memory does it take, okay? And what is its range? Okay, so it just take each character takes 1 byte, okay? And its range is basically the characters on the keyboard, right? Okay, that's good. So a character data type doesn't take up as much room as an integer data type, right? Usually type 4 times as long as the character data. Okay, how about a pixel data type? Now, Kathy Laborde, or Alyssa, uh, and Jason Alexander. Not sure. Okay, Keith. What do you know about? Basically all of the keys on the keyboard. Okay, Daniel. So on the pixel data type, we have got a red byte, a green byte, and a blue byte. Okay. How many different red values can we have? No. You have 8 bits in which to store. Yeah. If you have 8 bits, okay. If you have 8 bits, how many states can you represent in 8 bits? Let's get used to this, people, because this is important. Okay. I've said it over and over again. Okay. F and represent 2 to the D states. Let's memorize that. If D equals 8, i.e. 1 byte, then you can represent 2 to the 8 equals 256 states. Okay? So you can represent 256 shades of red. How many shades of green can you represent? How many shades of blue can you represent? 256. And in one pixel, you can have any shade of red mixed with any shade of green mixed with any shade of blue. Okay? So you can have lots and lots of colors. Okay? Didn't we do this last time? We went to paint. Did I do this? Did I do this last time? Yeah. And I brought the paint. And remember over here, edit colors. And this came up. Look at here, red 0, green 0, blue 0. And that's the color. If red is 0 and green is 0 and blue is 0, the color is black. I can make red 255, okay? That's the brightest red I can get right there. This has no blue, no green, and the brightest red possible on a computer. Yeah, right there. I can make red 254. Not quite as good. 253. Okay. I can make red 128. Okay. See, that's a red value of 128. No green and no blue. It looks kind of sort of a dark red, I guess it is. Um, I can make green 128. This right here is a red. It's a red and green mixed together. It's a shade that's 128th shade of red, and the 128th shade of green, and the 0 shade of blue. Okay, it looks like that. I can put the red back up to 255. The green is still at 128, and I get this color here. Right? So you mix them together, but you cannot put any number bigger than 255 here. If you're trying to put 256, it won't let you. I'm trying to put a 6 here. I'm picking a 6. It won't let me. But just one byte for red. One byte can go from 0 to 255, okay? Okay, so how about a picture? How do we represent a picture then, okay? How do store a picture on a computer? So a picture, is a rectangle. And so we store all these pixels, okay? So if this picture has 500 pixels in this direction and 300 pixels in this direction, yeah, it's got 500 times 300 pixels, okay? 500 times 300 pixels. And that is 15 and 4 zeros after it. So that's 150,000 pixels. Each one of those pixels takes up 4 bytes. So that is 600,000 bytes of memory, almost about a half a megabyte, okay, for storing that picture. Well, let's just look at some pictures, okay? I got some pictures in here somewhere. So here's some pictures here. So this is the picture of our team from the University of Houston that won nationals in the Microsoft Imagine Cup, okay, 2 years ago, or in 2011, okay. So it's for developing a game. It's a mobile game, and so they won first place in the entire nation. There were about 34,000 entries. Their game came in first. Their game is called uh, Forest Gun. This was the name of their tree. Their Forest Gun, and it was about forest, the deforestation of the forest, and so the bad guys are killing the forest. They got blowtorches and burning the trees, and they got dynamite and blowing up the trees, and getting rid of all the forests. And the good guys are trying to save the forest, and so they're and they try to keep the bad guys in check. So it's a big fight, and but one of the towers that the good guys can get, they find these towers in games, and they can. It's like a little hand grenade, and they can throw it at the bad guy, and if the bad guy reforms and becomes a good guy, and he starts helping. And so the judges really like that, and so that's the reason they won. And so anyway, here's a picture, okay, of these guys. So what can I know about this? Well, actually, there's a free piece of software that you might be interested in knowing about called XNView. Capital X, little n, view. And so here's XNView here, and so this tells you some interesting things here. So down here, this 2/7 means that this is the second picture out of 7 pictures in this directory. This is the name of the picture. Dot JPG. So this picture is stored on the computer in JPEG uh, notation or in JPEG style. This is the picture takes up 37.45 kilobytes. Okay, so about 37,000 bytes. Well, that's not bad because this picture is 500 times 333. That is, it's 500 pixels this way, 333 pixels that way. Well, if you multiply 500 by just say 300, which I just did, that's 150,000. And then you multiply that by 4, that's 600,000. That just takes 600,000 bytes, okay? But look, it doesn't. It only takes 37,000 bytes. 1/20th of what I told you it was going to take. How is it that they can store this big picture in such a small amount of space? They compress the picture. They do data compression. And what JPEG is, the main idea in JPEG is it compresses the data. And how does it compress the data? Well, the way JPEG compresses data is when it gets a picture, it looks for looks for areas in the picture which are pretty much the same, okay? So let's say this picture has a big red area in it here. Well, for simplicity, I tell you what, let's suppose that let's suppose this red area is a square. Well, JPEG is said to recognize this, okay, and so it doesn't have to have it doesn't have to repeat this red pixel over and over and over again. It just denotes the two, say, two corners, okay. Actually, it's going over here. It's going down here, and it says everything between here and here. It's all red. And it encodes that, okay, in the JPEG file, rather than having repeat that thing a lot many times. So the best thing that can happen to JPEG is you have a picture that's all just one color, and then it just has to put it in once, one pixel, and it says just keep repeating this pixel. See, and that's the main idea. So see, like all this right here, this big area right here. Well, it's pretty much the same. There's not much going on up here. But notice it's not like all the same color because over here, you know, there's this thing here and this thing here. So by and large, you can use the same pixel over and over again here and here. Whereas in here, there's a lot, you know, a lot of changes, you know, from place to place. So it says this picture takes up 37 kilobytes. It's 500 times 33 times 24. The 24 is the R, G, and B, right? 8 and 8. This is sometimes called the depth of the picture. Okay, so it's the width, okay, and the height, okay, and the depth, okay. So this 24 means it's true color. They call that. Okay, if you've got if you've got 8 bits for red, 8 bits for green, 8 bits for blue, that's a lot of colors, and they call that true color. This 1.5 here is the aspect ratio. It just says the width is 1.5 times the height. 100% says we're looking at, what we're seeing is the picture at the 100% level. That is, what you're seeing, 1 pixel on the screen is actually 1 pixel. So we can, you know, make it bigger. Now it's 1.5. Now it's 2, so 200%. So 1 pixel in the picture is now being shown on the screen as 2 pixels wide and 2 pixels high. So really, you got 4 pixels. It's taken 1 pixel and duplicated it, you know, 2 times and two. So now 4, and you can make it as big as you want. Okay. Now then, here, this is where you start seeing the jaggies. Okay. So see, when you look at this picture, here's this guy's shoulder. But when you start looking at it up close like that, you start seeing these jagged edges. Okay. Now, right here is the X and Y position. Okay. Let me go back to 100%. Okay. Look at this X and Y. I'm going to put the X and the Y right up here. And it says X0, Y0. So you're looking right down here. When I put the cursor right up here, it's X0, Y1. Okay. X0, Y0. Now, as I go across this thing, okay, see, Y is set at 0, and the X is getting bigger up to 500. Okay. So you can actually know which pixel you're looking at. Okay. So here, X is 407 and Y is 62. So all this area here will pretty much be the same. And down here is where the X is 500 and the Y is 300 here. Now, this is in JPEG, okay? in JPEG 3745. So now I'm going to go here to File. I'm going to store this picture, but I'm going to leave a save. I'm going to save it the save as. Okay? So it's going to put it back in the same directory, and it's going to save it as a JPEG file. But if I click on this, it gives me a whole bunch of different ways of saving pictures. Okay? These are all different ways that you can store pictures on the computer. There's a lot of them. BMP is that's called bitmap. Okay? This is TIFF, okay? And down here is I mean, just so many. I think almost everybody in this business, like you know, they like to come up with their own way of storing pictures. Okay, but the most common one is this JPEG. Here, let me just cancel this again. Whoops, oh, I didn't want to do that. So here's two versions of the same picture. Okay, this was the JPEG version. Over here is the bitmap version. But you can't tell the difference except down here, look, it takes 487 kilobytes to store this picture in bitmap notation. It was only, what, 37 in JPEG. So it takes basically over 10 times as much memory to store this picture in bitmap as the bitmap file than a JPEG file. So JPEG is one of the very best ways of storing pictures. There's another way called GIF. Here's the one as look at this. This is in GIF, GIF format. GIF is an old format, and it only has 256 colors at any one time. So you don't have a lot of colors in the GIF, GIF format, but you have other things such as animation is part of the GIF format. See, so here is this tetrahedron, and I've got the tetrahedron circling around. See, you can't do that in JPEG, okay? But this GIF format, you can do that. This takes 329 kilobytes. Okay. Well, this is 256 by 256 by 32. Well, maybe it's maybe this has more. The old GIF only had 8 here. What you would have would be 8. Okay. So that's how you store pictures. How about movies or video? How do you store that? Okay, so for pictures you have JPEG. Okay, for movies you've got MPEG. And MPEG stands for the Motion Picture Expert Group, and it's their this expert group that got together and decided how to do motion pictures. And in motion pictures, you of course just have a series of pictures, have a series of stills. You know, main idea in MPEG is say this is pictures 1, 2, 3, 4. They show maybe 30 frames per second. And so the MPEG is encoded in such a way that in frame 2, the only thing they store in a computer is how much of frame 2 is different from frame 1. See, because in a moving picture, usually as you go from snapshot to snapshot to snapshot, not too much changes, right? Occasionally it is, so, if the scene changes, right? But usually most of the pixels in the second, uh, shot is the same. So basically, they have a scheme for saying what's different. So there's MPEG, and then there's different MPEG, MPEG 3, MPEG 4. Then when we start talking about um, sound, there's the MP3, for instance, and so that's a way of storing sound. MP3 is just the audio part of MPEG 3. And so we have MP players, okay? Your iPod basically downloads uh, songs, music in MP3 format. So then we have all of these data types, and these data types then are put into files, and so you have file types. So here's common file extensions here. So if you if you use Microsoft Word and you create a file, you give the file a name, and then the computer tacks onto this name a file type. So if you name the file, say resume, then that's stored as resume.doc or resume.docx. So the newer versions of Microsoft Word store things as docx. Here's a log file. You'll run into those when certain programs run. They leave log files. .msg is an Outlook mail message. Let me tell you something about MSG. Don't be sending MSG files to other people unless you know they happen to be using Microsoft Outlook. Don't assume that everybody uses Outlook for mail because they don't. And so you can't send them a file .msg because they can't read it. So there's rich text, latex. See, this latex, it's a word processing system just like Microsoft Word, except it's an older one used on Unix-based systems. Okay. Really obsolete now, but a lot of technical disciplines still use that. Yeah. Just a plain text file is .txt. Okay. So you can go down and look at all of these file types. Okay. These are just the common ones. Okay. We're going to talk about file types, I guess, a little bit more later. Okay, so digitization and digital convergence. digitization is just making things digital. And we make things digital in different ways. We store integers. What's the method for storing integers? So here's the data type here. Here is the method for digitizing. So if it's an integer, the method for digitizing integers is to use the binary number system. If it's a character, the method for digitizing it is ask the ASCII code. Or Unicode. Okay. If it's a pixel, the method for storing it is RGB bytes. Okay. Now, all this leads to the idea of digital convergence. And digital convergence is an important concept in our technology. And basically, what digital convergence says is you can represent everything with zeros and ones. You don't have to have a different type of a machine uh, uh, to store an integer, as to store a character, or as to store a picture, or a movie, or a video, or a song, or whatever. You can store all these different things. There's some methods to store them with zeros and ones, and that's called digital convergence. And it's one of the basic underlying principles of our technology. Okay, so that's all of that. Okay. Now, platforms like a computer, so computer literacy, I've talked about bits and bytes, digitization, ASCII, binary, digital convergence. Digital convergence takes the advantage of the fact that digitization centers all types of data to zero and one. Devices that combine the functionality of several digital electronic devices into one. And computing platforms, I'm just basically going to, the PC, you're familiar with that. Mobile computing, you're familiar with that. Synchronization, we'll spend a little time on that later. Cloud computing. Servers, okay, I'm going to come back to servers. Supercomputers, special purpose computers, like an MRI. Okay, so I'm pretty much through with this set of slides. Okay, anybody have questions about this? Also, my time is up.